to our series numero quattro here over on the Sane stream. I'm Dakota Cuddle Guy. Looks like I'm here alone, but I'm not. Over here to my left-hand side. Hey, look at this dynamic duo. We got Toby and Cinderin back in casting shape, ready to go. Gentlemen, it's going to be HellRaisers taking on Navi. Should be a good time. I know the draft is already underway, so why don't you go ahead and tell me your impressions about the matchup while we do dive in and check out what those first picks and bans are.
For me, I'm happy to be casting Navi again. I'm hoping I'm going to be casting a solid Navi again. As I was saying before, when we're doing our other game, at the end of it, it really looks like Dendy is on form. At least today, with his first game, his puck play today was absolutely superb, and I'm hoping the rest of the team can step up, because there were a couple of holes in the Navi lineup, and of course they are staring down the barrel right now of being in the very, very bottom part of the group with only with the full loss in their first series.
Yeah, Navi got a loss 0-2 against London Conspiracy, which has been the biggest storyline of this group so far.
Yep.
HellRaisers drew against Vega Squadron. So the group is still wide open, but as we talked about before we started this segment, if Navi get another 0-2, they are almost eliminated, actually.
It's a guarantee they cannot get first position if they go 0-2.
Yeah, they can get a maximum of 6 points then. So if they do not at least get 1 point here, they are looking really, really bad. I mean, it's possible to get a shared second place with 6 points. I think, like you said, it should be impossible to get first. Yeah. Well, it might be technically possible, but it's super unlikely.
But the remaining opponents are also Vega Squadron, who is the second favorite, one of the top 3 favorites to get through this group. And the last one is HellRaisers, who in history the brand has been
Yellow Submarine.
Yellow Submarine, sorry.
Yeah.
In history, well, in history, that brand has actually not had a great time up against Navi. But still, it's a pretty rough run up against Vegas, so they don't want to take it for granted that they can go 2-0 during the TI qualifiers when they also had trouble with London Conspiracy.
All right.
We've got some drafting to catch up on.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it, gentlemen. Navi open up with their precious Dendy, Queen of Pain, lead in with the Nyx, which can seem peculiar at first, but I guess going against a Lesh can be somewhat justified. So yeah, there's the Lesh on the side of HellRaisers, a Disruptor follow-up, and then the Treant Protector. Haven't seen much of him throughout this qualifier.
No, not so far. He was also very, very unattractive pick in the Chinese qualifier, I want to say. I think that was the other one I did. I think I've only seen him picked in total like twice in the last 4 days or so. So
I know Malini
was
talking him down primarily because you're going up against heroes like Leshrac and Gyrocopter, and Living Armor doesn't do sort of anything against them. And most of the heroes are able to time out their BKBs or potentially build a Manta style and break free of the overgrowth. So he hasn't really fit in perfectly. And the advantage he gives in the lanes in the early stage is obviously Ajara's got Rocket Barrage from level 1, so it's not going to do that much for you, and that's probably the reason too why HellRaisers, would you believe, ban out the Gyro in the #1 position so they can slip it through.
And they have the Lesh. So
yeah.
Those two are generally the 2 strongest heroes right now against Living Armor. I would agree with that. There is a Shadow Strike on the Dire, which isn't that reliable. It's still an extra damage source for the Quap, so she can get through that Treant Protector, Living Armor in the mid lane, which is most likely where Dendy will be going on that Queen of Pain. But we don't know that for now. As far as Navi, they banned out some really hard carries in their second phase after banning Wisp and Dying. They got rid of Drow as well as Phantom Lancer. And HellRaisers not only ban out the Chen against our style, but also the Enchantress just in case, as well as the Lycan that I believe Khvost has been playing from time to time.
10 seconds remaining.
Navi, they grabbed the Shadow Demon. I think the previous series I casted them, they also had Shadow Demon in both games. No, never mind. They had it in game 1. They didn't have it in game 2, and they lost both.
You meaning up against Navi with the SD?
Navi versus London Conspiracy.
Yeah, that was when they ran their combo with the Invoker and ended up having Sunstrike and everything else thrown on top. It was painful. It was really, really painful to watch that one. Khvost went from 100% to 0% in the grand space of 0.11333 recurring seconds, of course.
Yeah, he died very, very quickly in that game, and I think Navi actually wanted the Shadow Demon in that game too, but it got stolen from them on the 3rd pick. London Conspiracy in that game chose to get Shadow Demon together with Beastmasters to disallow Navi from having that defensive support together with it. They obviously had some other options they could have gone for, but they didn't. So
the team fight here is getting pretty ridiculous on the set of HellRaisers. They get a Phoenix. I haven't seen the Phoenix Treant Protector combo in quite a while, something that I believe it was EG who kind of showed up during DAC. It was pretty ridiculous, but now you stack on top of that a Static Storm, a Leshrac Ultimate. They're going to raise hell. They're literally going to raise hell in these team fights. It's pretty damn crazy.
See what you did there.
Well, if they had the ESF man, it would be a perfect pun.
Man, oh man.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't know if that's the last pick for them, though. Wait, so I'm guessing this is a solo mid-lash
Reserve
against
time.
Quap, which
Yeah.
is not the greatest matchup, but when you have living armor, it's definitely doable. Phoenix will either safe lane or off lane. Disruptor Treant can be good in an aggressive trial lane sometimes, but I would really not recommend going that up against the jug lane. Living armor gets destroyed by Blade Fury, and
You just need someone who's good up against the potential offlane Nyx and also can battle the Juggernaut in the later portion of the game.
yeah.
That's basically it.
What does HellRaisers usually prefer in that case?
Oh, we have missed a book of stats here.
Believe it or not, though, most of their top
10
picks, there's not that
seconds
many of them
remaining.
to represent in 6.84. Now, I personally got to see
5
HellRaisers
seconds
play
remaining.
through the Red Bull Battlegrounds, where they kind of played the format a bit finicky. Only ended up, taking about
Reserve
one
time.
victory there, and that was, of course, during 6.83. So it's
Radiant
really hard
team
to
pick.
judge on that playing field. But then the top picks of their recent play have all been supports, and believe it or not, Treant's right up there, 2 plays going 1-1. Disruptor, two plays going 1-1. Outside of that, it seems like they've been pretty flexible with what they like to do with cores.
It's good to see the Slark ban from Navi, because this actually, I remember Arts playing the Slark at... Now, I forgot which tournament it was, but I remember him playing it.
Star
It was a
Ladder?
DAC, actually, in
was it
DAC group
DAC?
stages.
Okay.
10
And he
seconds
was
remaining.
ridiculous in that game. He actually went like 20-0, and they lost, but he was out of
5
control in that
seconds
game. He was
remaining.
super, super farmed, and it might have been the go-to hero from here. They're going to get a
Navi's turn
Luna
to pick.
instead. And you know what could... Wait a
Or
second.
wombo combo.
Wait a second. Okay.
Yep.
Question. If you get Axe on Luna and you put it on Phoenix, and Phoenix dives in and goes into Supernova, does the Supernova, like...
It follows him wherever he goes.
Even in Supernova, the
It will stay.
the Eclipse
It
stays.
will stay on the target.
That's so fucking cool. I hope he does that.
An Ags, though, for Luna?
I know,
Are you really
it's-
going to make the
it's-
sacrifice going for an Ags over
not in
like
this
some
game.
But it would look
10
cool.
seconds.
ultra luxury, baby?
I am not saying it's going to be very
He's
good,
like
but it's
Icarus
cool.
diving in
5 seconds
with an
remaining.
Eclipse. Why not, right?
Oh, that is a really good last pick for Navi. Brood Mother. HellRaisers let it through the whole way. They don't have any sort of really good laning counter to it. They have Disruptor with Thunderstrike, and Treant is really weak, and this Thunderstrike barely even counts. So HellRaisers really have a laning situation they deal with here. Their 2s are not good against it. They don't have any single solo who's very well against Brood. Lesh can be decent, but in case HellRaisers have to run an aggressive trial lane with Luna, which is very, very risky with the 3 heroes they have, in my opinion.
And
But
Navi's
maybe
good-
it's the best.
Navi's gonna be so happy there's no burst way to flash up the flash farm the spy links as well. Heroes like Legion Commander are amazing up against Broodmother because you get these power levels and power farms all the time. Not being there, I want to know how long this support hero. That's my big question. How many times can Funnick kill them over and over?
And I think what took HellRaisers by surprise was that the Nyx pick is generally played as a core. So they might have just assumed that it was
for
directly a
battle.
core for Funnick and that the last pick of Navi would be a support. And
Yep.
then all of a sudden they can flip it around like that. Very easy to land Impale together with Disruption. So it is definitely possible to pull this off for Navi. I think that last pick Brood probably gave them an edge in the draft, in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe they went into it thinking that the Funnick Nyx was what was potentially in store, so didn't think about Brood being a possible option. But nonetheless, I'm looking forward to some huge, impactful team fight coming out from HellRaisers, and we'll have to see if Navi are going to be able to get at least that draw or that 2-0 victory to just stay alive potentially in this qualifier run. So with that said, the game is underway and they're smoked on up. So gentlemen, I'm going to quickly throw it right back your way. Good luck.
Yeah, because I think we're about to go into a fight if Navi is going to scout out the jungle anymore, but oh, they didn't do it. They leave a ward behind so they can see him behind that tower, and the position of it makes me think it's an aggro tri lane. Havos, the closest man that could potentially try and glimpse him, or they wall as he walks out of here. But Juggernaut's got the spin, and with it, he avoids Afo's Lathrag Split Earth. So we'll start to see our lanes. Are they going to take a leaf out of Nip's book and run an aggro tri lane with the Luna, or at least a dual lane with the Luna?
It is possible they try to run the aggressive try so that Lesh can... Oh, wait a second. How are they laning this?
Wait, so, hang on. How's a Phoenix meant to work up against a Broodmother? Because that's what it looks like this is going to be. In
Yeah.
fact, that's exactly what this is going to be.
I mean, he can sustain against the harass in the start because he has so much regen. He has 8 tangos and a salve, so maybe that's the idea that, okay, you're basically giving the Brood free farm and you're giving Phoenix experience, which is all Phoenix really needs. Midas is great, and the reason you get Midas is to level up to 11 and 16 faster on this hero, but you can manage without it in this kind of game. Navi really don't have that good heroes against the Supernova, so...
At what point can the sprites kill off the Broodlings? That's kind of like my question. Like, can the Broodlings harass the Phoenix out, and is there anything the Phoenix can do against it?
You can skill Fire Spirits and you can try to kill them off with it. It's definitely possible when Phoenix is level 3, but, well, right from the start here, Funnick is going to go aggressive, and even using Fire Spirits here for Dread is going to cost him health. And
this may even be worthwhile going in for the bite build. Now Havor's being completely forced off this top lane until maybe he's brought back again to Glimpse, but that stun from Snako well off target, not catching any of the HellRaisers players. But yeah, you can actually go for bite build in this, which is it's very uncharacteristic because Spirelings, when you got North Lane, you can control everything and just spray into Dread. But if you're wanting to get up in his face, you can just bite him all the time.
I think the spawn Spiderlings build is just flat out better for this kind of lane. He can win the lane with the spiders, and if he wants to, he can just send them into the jungle and farm as well at the same time. So he maximizes his farm while still winning the lane. That's the dream situation of Brood. He's having an easy one-on-one like this.
Especially when you got ward control. Dendi
wow.
very low, trading blow after blow. But Leshrac finally has his bottle available, and looks like Dendi's got his arriving as well, so they both got the same timing. Their sentry ward's going to get rid of Dendi's observer, so he no longer has the high ground. In fact, is that actually his bottle as well, or is it... No, he actually just brought a salve. He hasn't got enough money to actually purchase the bottle.
He only has 4 CS, and he started with a null. So
God
he needs to
damn.
get some more.
Disruption. He's not going to get glimpsed away with this one, but of course doesn't get a lot of his damage out from the spin, and who's going to go down first? It's going to be Goddamn. SD will find the first kill. There's a stun coming in as well from the next assassin, but there's nothing more to be given. Arsalad's going to drop, and what was a good first kill is going to turn to a double for the Luna, and harassment into Snako. He's got his Lucent Beam back up again, but there's not enough damage to ensure the kill.
Yeah, and when it comes to raw fist fights, when the spells have been used, Luna Aura is of course great for both herself and the Treant. And he deals more than 100 damage per swing, so...
Treant is literally fists.
Yeah. And Juggernaut, well, after he uses the spin, he's already dead. Just from the right clicks themselves, just dealing so much damage, and Kvos doesn't have any HP items yet. Oh, mid lane, rotation from Artstyle. Good use of the capture.
They've only got Scream though and Shadow Strike. That's basically all that's available, but Dendi, he does have to blink up. This one he had in short kill. Goddamn attempted the denial there, but was unsuccessful in doing so. So we leveled up at 2 apiece, and that's a big kill, because that now helps Dendi win his mid lane.
Artstyle also with about 1,000 gold on him, so he's probably going to buy boots and Crow. And maybe he's not done yet. Well, he kind of should be done. Dendi has no mana, so... Yeah, just standing here in lane a bit, trying to win the Sentry Wars, which he did. There's Dendi's bottle from that rotation. Very important for Na'Vi to get a grip on this mid lane, like you said. And Dendi, in addition to getting the kill, he's also winning on CS. So he is certainly looking good here. What are we looking at for bot lane? Brood, 12-9. Phoenix 9-1. So Dread is losing the lane, but it's not.
But this lane completely changes now, because Phoenix finished his Soul Ring.
Yeah, it's close to level 5 as well.
Which means the mana harassment and the Spirelings on Dread's back are just going to be so hard for him to stand in this lane at all. And who's even meant to help him? Like, giving living armor is one part of the help. Now, Funny did even throw a Spirelings, and just with a little bit of chip damage, Dread's dropped down to 50% of his HP. This is rough for him. He's gonna start running out of tangos, really. We're actually having tangos on cooldown.
He's close to Tranquils, though. And at that point, it's about standing back from time to time. You can take some damage, you need to just go back and reset and regen. And well, the Spiderlings can keep trying to run at you, but ultimately, if you're far enough back, then
it might be worthwhile.
Them down, or
it might be worthwhile sending the Spirelings over into the jungle.
I think he should do that soon, but for now, he's dominating the lane with him, which I think is the better play. Maybe he's even going to die for the kill. There's no Icarus dive available.
And Soul Ring's on cooldown, though. That's the reason why he can't just spawn the Spiderlings now.
And Funnick does not have boots yet, so he doesn't really move that fast in the web. He's 442, but he could be more than 500 with the boots here.
He's gone. Like, the Funnick has just left the lane. Like, I mean, sorry, Dre's just left the lane for the moment.
He's coming back. He's healing up to full here with tangos. The living armor was not broken, so should have a shot here. As far as the other lanes go, Juggernaut actually out-farming Luna by a little bit. A little surprising that Kvos has a slight edge here, but it's not too much of a lead.
We still have to remember Luna did get that double kill, which included it didn't include First Blood, but still, it was a double kill in for the Luna. It's just a downside for Luna that she's having to like split the experience so hard here. Where the Juggernaut, like, he's not looking great either. Like, they're both still sitting at level 3 and capped on the top of level 4. So there's not that much difference between the two of them. But heroes like Queen of Pain love this, because this means the Luna isn't going to get instantly strong. And that means that when Denny decides to rotate in towards that mid lane, towards that top lane, he can just blink in and then just Sonic Wave down, and you're going to do a lot of damage there. And Dread, this looks like his death right now. The Icarus dive away, but Funnick's just running for it, and there it is. That's going to be a big kill for Funnick, and this ensures victory over the bottom lane.
Yeah,
if they don't lose it.
This should not happen, and now that it has, Dread actually... He's probably going to port down to bottom lane again and try to get what he can, but that was a really big loss Ultimately, Brood is almost level 7. They're going to go to level 5. Yep, they're going in.
And with the stun, they set up with the disruption to start with. Snako staying in there, and there's not enough damage here to kill Avatus, but he is on the run. Maybe there is if Avos can get one more attack, but there is that heal kicking in. It's the living armor as well as the leech seed that was following him, and Avos isolates himself, and they've lost the Nyx Assassin. Snako's dropped down, and now Arnstyle forced to battle up against a tree into again this leech seed. Korik's not looking too healthy. There will be enough damage to kill him off, and now it's actually the creep wave doing most of the job. But Na'Vi, this is not a clean fight.
Dire's middle tower.
Yeah, they lose 2 for 1 there. Oh, Dendi has rotated up though. There's the Sonic Wave. Scream doesn't hit, but the Sonic Wave
that actually
finish him off. He might be able to get him here as well if he bottles up enough. Okay, there's the stick. Actually, he could have tried to kill Dendi there with a kinetic field, actually, but didn't try for that.
That missed Scream actually cost him the second kill, because with the Sonic Wave and the Disruptor, it would have been enough. The Scream was enough to kill the Luna, but he didn't check the target. He just thought, oh, Luna's going to run down at me, and that was just well thought out by the HR Luna.
Still, Na'Vi are looking good here. They're winning their lanes. Brood is pushing the tier 1. It's going to be a TP rotation here from the Luna into the lane. She is really not a good hero to have up against the Brood. It's bad enough already, but when she doesn't have Moonglaves and is out-leveled by 3 levels, this is just not an option.
That's a level 4 spawn spiraling they'll be running at her, and the vision advantage goes to Na'Vi. The sentry's in the lane for the Dire side. And they have no way to get control back. Like, she switches to Strength Trace, and finally she's like, screw this. If you wanna have Luna and Phoenix in the same lane, go right ahead. I'm gonna take your entire jungle, if I want to. And if you push out too far, I'll just harass you down so you never want to fight here. And then the Spirelings attack. that wasn't even a full second of nibbling.
Yeah, Funnick should really... Oh, he's going to find them here. That's very important, because I was about to say, Funnick should really realize that this is happening. The top lane has suddenly been left empty. And that can only mean one thing, and that's a rotation to the bottom from the supports. As their support duo is not good at ganking Quap, this is the most likely play. Now Funnick, all the information in the world from his Spiderlings.
He actually got Nature's Guys in an earlier level and then tried to run down a lane where the Broodmother's been playing vision battles. Korik actually put himself in a really risky position there. And with the Spirelings, they can just dive under this tower. Arstyle, who's he even want to put under? Well, there's one. The Luna's died in the meantime, and goddamn's going to be your next target. Arstyle right behind him with 5 million Spiderlings, possible over-exaggeration. But it's going to be Funnick with the double kill there. And this bottom lane just belongs to Na'Vi. Just take your claim. It's only going to ever belong to Na'Vi.
Yeah, I don't understand what the logic was behind that rotation from HellRaisers. They wanted to try to counter the Brood, but they rotate down heroes that don't counter the Brood. So ultimately, they gave 2 kills to Na'Vi. The top lane, they've swapped up the Phoenix against the Jugger, which isn't the worst lane in the world for Juggernaut, since they're even on levels. He can just he can farm. If he feels like he's threatened, he can just use the spin and his wand and even a healing ward if it's necessary. So he's more or less going to free farm up here, and in my opinion, just a bad strategic call here for HellRaisers that didn't really bring anything with it apart from just losing more heroes at the end of the day.
Yeah, it really relied on them getting that. I almost feel like their movement, the 5-man movement that went through the Dire jungle, was the critical part of their strat to catch out one of these Na'Vi players just walking around there, get 1 kill, establish dominance over vision behind the tier 1 tower, and from there, let the Luna have all the space in the world to free farm. The Treant Protector provides the fist up against someone like a Nyx Assassin, and the Disruptor, if Na'Vi ever get too close, becomes that control factor that allows them to find more and more kills. But the combo just didn't work. Even though Na'Vi were missing some stuns here and there, you were still going up against a Juggernaut spin. Now in the mid lane, you've got, well, Dust to actually find Funnick. The wall will come down, and Funnick should be dead here. He's got 2.3k. I'm not seeing him spend any of this yet, because he thinks he can actually do it. No, he'll be glimpsed back in. He's dead.
5 heroes, though. That's a very expensive kill. Porting in the Phoenix, which I think ended up being unnecessary, as Funnick will get a 9-minute Midas and probably look to farm a lot of the Radiant jungle here. And well, it's something for HellRaisers, but it's not enough, and they need to find levels on their supports, especially since both Dendi and Hvos will just be free farming now. They're kind of unable to kill either of them, I would say, without Static Storm. So Disruptor's level 6 is really, really crucial. Luna is getting close to hers, which isn't the most important right now, I would say, but probably if team fights break out later could be a key part of their fights. But yeah, well, if there are Spiderlings in the fight, Eclipse is just garbage. That's just how it is. And
But he needs to clean them off. Like, the best way is just to have that Mana Style and high points up in Glaives, but you're so under-leveled that you're still going to be waiting another 10-15 minutes before that's even possible.
And if you go Manta Style, you die to everything else.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's probably... It's not good enough. He's going to need a BKB against this Dire lineup for sure.
Which means then he's fully reliant on Glaives, which means then he's fully reliant also on Vision. Like,
he's fully reliant on Lesh. Who died.
Who just died. that looks like a Disruption Catcher and Sonic Wave combo there from Dendy.
Yeah.
Reliance, I don't think he wants to have on Leshrac anymore. There needs to be somebody else.
Well, they don't have anyone, so he has to be the one who can kill the Spiraling Slayer. And they have that, and they have Fire Spirits, which...
I think you're about to lose a Treant Protector down the Radiant jungle at the moment. Funix is walking all around him. He's already dropped Korik down to half of his life. And the Spiderlings can do the rest. There's so many spiders. It's very, very deceiving with these spiders because they can just stack up on top of each other, and then it looks like you're being attacked by one, but it's actually 50. Again, exaggeration.
Oh, there's at least 20 there. That's probably more like 30
Radiant's
or 25. They're
middle
gonna
tower
go
is
for the
under
rotation. Funnick is in a good position though.
They just lost Phoenix on the top lane.
Oh, they're gonna go for a blind dust. It doesn't work, and well, that could be the death of Koretz if Funnick turns around.
Radiant's
Does not.
top
He plays
tower
it
is
safe.
under attack.
That line doesn't do anywhere near enough damage. And they can't have any help because Phoenix got picked off on the top lane. Looks like it was an Omni Slash being committed to kill off Phoenix. Which means that you've got no Nova. You've got no Space Creator available. And Na'Vi are very much aware of this now. They don't have to force down towers. They're getting so far ahead that like they only have to push when they've got their control items or their ability to be like solid in a team fight, which is aka BKB. The Mask Commands is there, but that's it's the Orchid I'm looking for from the Broodmother. When that's up and running, then you've got all the control in the world. Or he can just go for a BKB as well. Actually, what do you want to see on that Brood? Is it almost worth going Necros in this book and just try and take towers?
Necros in this book? I think Dagon is fine. Just play the really aggressive jungle controlling build. Which, oh, he's gonna get okay. Now the Carapace comes in too late. Nico might actually be in trouble. I don't know if he used Vendetta already. He's gonna try for the TP. Probably gonna make it because of a very nice double impale. And once again, HR's rotation not successful. They're simply not farming enough. Yeah,
they're grouped up so much. Like, you can't even farm. You've got 4 players on one lane because you can't go to bottom. The Brood 5th pick from Na'Vi, I think, has just completely turned the tables in this one. HR don't know what to do. They don't know how to deal with it. Like, potentially they could have actually switched out Leshrac and put him on the safe lane and maybe switched to Luna in the mid up against the Quap, but even then their aggro tri lane gets destroyed. It's
Dire's top tower is
They
under
simply forgot to ban it out, and now they have to do their best, but from a strategic standpoint, if you give a Luna away like this and you don't have any counters, I don't know what the win rate is, because we obviously can't measure that. Like, when is a lineup bad against Brood? It's not... It's difficult to just measure, but I've got to say, I've seen so many of this kind of games, and they always end the same way.
Why does it feel
almost always.
Why does it feel like Dread just used that Nova to farm the Spiderlings to get anything he possibly could out of the lane?
He defended the tower.
True.
He kind of had to do that to hold it. Now they can heal it up with living armor, and it's something to have against Brood, but you still need to pay constant attention to the lane. Living armor isn't going to cut it. When 7 Spiderlings hit it, the living armor just disappears instantly, and you continue to force it down. So it's all about healing it up when pressure is not being applied, and then hopefully having it, having it high enough on health when Brood reaches it.
They found Gorik in the tree line.
I don't think they saw him.
No, the ping came out from Na'Vi, wasn't it? I didn't recognize the color for it straight away.
Walking got him. He does have Static Storm.
There's the Static Storm, but enforced. Can't get the spin off. There's no holes there, but yes, the SD Disruption will be available. Saneko, mana burning down, goddamn, as the Omni Slash, nice ulti from Korra, keeps him away, and then they go into the Eclipse, but Enforced remains immune. Spinning on the top. So they kill off the Treant Protector, they take the tier 1 tower, they blow the Overgrowth. Looks like Denny may be defying the Luna as well. And goddamn's in a hell of a lot of trouble. At least he'll avoid the Son of Saneko. I think he's got maybe a 1 in 4 chance of hitting that stun, aka ratio of hits to misses. But there's still 3 heroes going down, and Funnick. Cardi, living armor actually stopped Cardi from finishing off that tower.
He's still going to get it now. He'll spawn some more, or maybe not. With F1 Ninja there.
He wants to finish it.
It's possible he's going to have to wait, but this is still getting completely out of control.
That living
Navi-
armor has to be level 2. Like, that living armor is not healing. It's actually level 3. It's healing really, really slow.
And the stat looks grim for them. 5th lowest GPM since DAC out of 83 games.
And he's the highest net worth on HR.
Yeah, that's the worst part. They're 10,000 gold behind minute 16 against the Brood. I want to say the Brood team has at least a 95% win rate in these cases. It's difficult for HR to see any hope here because it doesn't matter how they move. If they want to counter the Brood, they have to have 2 heroes down there. If they don't go and counter the Brood, they lose a tower and they start losing their base. And even in the team fights, they don't kill the Jugger that easily because the only way they have of stopping him from the start is Static Storm. But if Shadow Demon doesn't get caught in that, he disrupts him, Static Storm ends, Jugger switches to use either Spin or Omnislash. And I mean, as much as I hate to say it, 16 minutes in, we don't like talking about games like that, but this game is really, really much over. Actually, it is.
But the really sad thing is though, like 2-3 minutes in, I'm fairly certain HR thought exactly the same thing. They were looking at this game and going, okay, how do we win this? Like, the only option we have is 5-man to do this, or this aggro tri-lane to achieve it this, and bottom lane, let's just hope Phoenix, when he rotates in, is he finds level 6 and then he can start ganking up. But they had to know too that the Broodmob was going to hit level 6 roughly around the same time he did, or actually just kill him off before he even cracked level 6. So you were staring down a barrel of multiple problems. There were, of course, some execution issues for Na'Vi on their safe lane, which gave openings for HR, hence, like, First Blood was still there, but they lost out pretty heavily after that.
Yeah,
I mean, that was HR's opening.
It's scary to think about it, but it could have been even worse. It actually could have been worse. That tri-lane of HR maybe got more than what they should have in that situation. And
yeah.
Well, regardless of that, as long as Navi's lane draws up there, or even they lose slightly, it doesn't matter all that much with the rotation from our side to mid that killed the left. Mid lane was secured. Bottom lane was a win, an automatic win, basically. F1NG. Oh, this time Dun's actually going to land. He's gone.
Yeah, into the Omni Slash, bounces down, and well, the Nova will still fire out, and they're able to get some revenge kills here. But at the same time, Phoenix just killed off Nyx's assassin, but Broodmother killed off the Looter on the safe lane. That's the safe lane for HR, which is not so safe.
Yeah, what items does Brood have? He's got a net worth of 8,000. He still hasn't bought anything yet.
Buy anything. If that was going to be a Necro book, he would have already bought the second one by now. So it's not a Necro, which makes me just think of a straight BKB.
Okay.
That works. Actually, they have... is that enough? No.
And then the BKB.
No, it's not.
Whoa, what? That must have been a misclick. He wanted to use his wand and get a Sonic Wave off, I think. And
Yeah.
press the wrong key.
There's a straight BKB. That was the only logical reason to save that much money. Yep, that's still so much money on Funnick. When they go up on high ground, now the Disruptor has no control. He never had control of the Juggernaut unless he gets the Static Storm off before the Juggernaut spins. But now both Dendy as well as Funnick can freely move around during the team fights. Same thing up against like Lashrak. I'm not going to say up against Phoenix because his stun's still going to pierce that immunity. But Tree and Protector, they got ways to bounce out of that. Now there's actually a better way for the Juggernaut. So he's got the Mana Style as well. Na'Vi just looked like their team fights are so far superior, and HellRaisers, they just never hit any form of timing. You got 6 kills on the board, but most of that came from the chaos that was created on the lanes. Or Na'Vi going a little bit too aggressive, but that was all.
I know. I feel like the next 10 minutes of this game are going to be HR farm 30% of the map, Na'Vi farm 70. They either try to push with their Juggernaut Aegis, or they just get a little bit of an item advantage. HR feel forced to do something. They're going to smoke out. They're going to be caught, and either by the Brood or by the Nyx, and the smoke will it will be successful, and they get a couple of kills, and they have to turn that into a tower. Or if they get 2 or 3 kills, well, As long as they don't get any collateral, it's a 12-minute smoke cooldown, and Na'Vi can just go back to farming and get whatever money back they lost.
It really looks like HR. Well, he's going to Omni Slash, jumps out to the illusions, actually left goddamn behind because of this, and a boss, there's your Sonic Wave coming in. The Icarus side will help him to evade that. The Nova will complete. At the same time, Dendy, he's get that BKB back off cooldown, but if Force spins, he'll still get stunned inside of that. But no direct follow-up. Now there will be. Glimpse him back, and
nice
Manta style
Manta
dodges
dodge.
the glimpse.
Very good play from Twist there.
Not easy timing.
That's pretty important. He didn't have the
Radiant's
Aegis, so.
bottom tower is under attack.
And he already used his spin beforehand.
Yeah.
But that was HR moving 5 players towards the mid, hoping they could find an opening. And what do they get really in return for that?
A BKB charge from Dendy, a Sonic Wave cooldown, an Omni Slash cooldown because it was an Illu rune. If he finds any other rune there, well, yeah, only if he finds an Invis or an Illu, I think he lives, because I'm pretty sure Juggernaut was fast enough to get him with Omni Slash before he would run away with a haste.
Yep.
So a little bit of luck there for HR only losing 0 heroes, I guess, but it's not good enough. They got nothing out of that, and I mean, this Luna does not have any items for 21 minutes. This inventory Luna has right now, okay, he's got an Yasha coming out.
That's not as bad then.
So he's like, you generally want to have 4,000 gold more than what he has right now if you're having a decent game. That's what Juggernaut has, by the way.
Yeah.
21 minutes, Yasha BKB and Morbid Mask is good farm. It's when you have a safe lane, you get to farm, and you get to farm some jungle stacks. That has just not been the case this game. No control at all. They haven't had their own jungle the last 10 minutes. Nice glimpse onto Dendy. He beat BKBs.
Yeah, he had to. No one else from his team wanted to be involved in that. He just let it go. But this now means that HellRaisers can try and force the issue up against the Tier 1 tower, claim their first tower of the game. But Na'Vi won't really accept this. Like, Funnick will take the Tier 3 tower in the bottom lane before they can finish the mid. And it's not because Denny's walking around with Sonic Wave and can slow this down. That's still on cooldown for another 20 seconds. But you've still got the threat of the Nyx Assassin, who, even if he goes in Vendetta right now, that would be very concerned about. There's a sentry ward back on the ramp area. The bottom lane's pushed in. Where is this Brood? Actually, the Brood's coming in from behind
as well.
So they deny the tower, but Broodmother's coming in, starts on the Insatiable Hunger, soloing the Luna, and she's completely away from the rest of the fight. The Nova will go down, but Dendy as well as Nico, they're looking to get rid of the X. Nico actually burns in the middle of it, but it does not matter. Broodmother with a double kill, about to be a triple until Dendy comes in and kill secures it. And that will be the Disruptor, the last man left standing. And shortly after that, either Roshan or that Tier 2 tower, or both, will end up going the way of Na'Vi.
I think Rosh isn't up yet. There's going to be a little bit of time for that. We'll know when it spawns in 1.5, but this mid Tier 2 should be very easy to hydrate. Interesting.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, that's an interesting stat. Funnick was the only offlane to average higher GPM than his mid teammate, but... Well, in this case he does. He is the most farmed hero in the game, which
is completely understandable.
Yeah, that is very understandable. He got a fast Midas, he farms the enemy jungle very well, and the summary of this game basically is Na'Vi got the best possible 5th pick in the pool, and they got the maximum effect out of it.
It's like watching a Husker go up against like a 5 magical lineup only. Like it's just brutal to watch, but you know what's coming.
Yeah. Like it pretty much only ends one way.
A Storm Spirit up against a team with no stuns or silences.
Yeah, it's a similar category. I used to have like a while back now, things have obviously changed a little bit with balance, but I used to highlight 3 heroes that you just needed to counterpick. Either the Brood, you needed to have a solution for the lane.
Tree's dead.
Storm Spirit with no silencer stun, or Weaver with no silencer stun back in the day.
Hostile is the gem. That is just...
right. That's a fast kill. He hits with 300, and there's an Ambon. He has a Desolator looking to split push. By the way, Na'Vi almost have 1,000 gold per minute lead. They're 20,000 experience and gold ahead at minute 24.
Watching that kill was like watching Funnick prepare for Warcraft 4. It was a classic surround.
Yep. He didn't even need to, though.
No,
he just needed to hit him twice.
Yeah.
He's going to go for the tower. Nice static storm as well as field. Never mind.
The money!
Yeah, at least he gets the money.
At least he's got a Glimmer Cape too. He's got a chance of saving someone. But he just blew his Static Storm, so that's now 80 seconds with no, well, I say no control factor. But they're still up against the BKBs, which let him break free. And looks like Navi's getting ready to go for another Roshan. He's already up and running.
Yeah, they might as well.
And with that Desert was so cheap and such a great item now on the Broodmother. Like you're wanting to end this now, or potentially just going in and taking Roshan. And who's really good armor on HR anyway? So you strip that away, your physical damage is kicking in so much harder.
It's very good together with Juggernaut as well on the team. You amp up everything so nicely. This Roshan is going to go to Navi. Cross has a BKB of his own now. They have a Blink Dagger on Nyx. Dendy's BKB is down to 7, but that should still be more than enough. I think what's going to happen now, Navi, they get this Rosh. They'll look to push down the lane together. HR in full desperation mode. They've got to just try to go 5 heroes on a lane and see if they can find a kill or two and build from there.
Navi may as well. Like, you just leave the Broodmother on bottom, let the other 4 heroes fight up on top. Because if you do that, you stop HR's TPs back, you get a guaranteed rack for what? Maybe a couple of heroes dead and you lose a tier 1 tower.
Yeah, it's happening right now, actually.
Yeah.
Funnick is hitting.
HR's already coming back. But you want to watch the next assassin to see what TPs he can cancel here. And in fact, there it is, the jump out. And he can't stop any of them. They're all home and hose, which means back down to bottom lane is where that defense is going to be. And it's already been cleared up. In fact, Navi is left apart from the Broodmother.
And as long as Funnick doesn't get this in one go, they can just kill it up every time with living armor. And Lesh is starting to find a bit of farm.
If that Nyx was able to pick up the double stun, then you'll probably be looking at Funnick just forcing into that tower and pushing the heroes back. And then HR would have the impossible task, because you'd end up losing 2 heroes on that top lane. So then you'd guarantee lose the tier 2 tower, and your tier 3 towers being harassed. You'd be pushed on the maximum extremes of your base, top and bottom lane. There's no way you could defend between that kind of split. Right now they need the battles to be all in one location. That's the only way that they can really fight this.
Hearing a glimpse, it is Funnick.
BKB Funnick.
Alright, well they get a BKB for it. That's a pretty decent trade. It's a short cooldown for a BKB charge. Definitely worth it. If they get an opening, they have to just try to see if they can get anything out of it. And meanwhile, they lose their tier 2 tower top, which they have no chance at holding. Dendy showing. Guess they have seen his Hex. He hasn't used it yet. He's closing in on 16, by the way. Kind of a... I want to say kind of an old school item build that we don't really see that often anymore. This build up, straight BKB into Hex. Generally today most co-ops go for Orchid first, sometimes they get a Yule's. BKB is quite common, and then we also see a lot of co-ops get Ags, but this particular build order,
it's Danger Zone! Blink, stun, bomb. Mana burn, and then, okay, well, there is a hunger of Funnick which cannot be satisfied. Even with the death of a Luna, they'll come down for more killing of the Treant.
This is a lane of racks. They don't have any buyback on either of these two, so now we can just start running down the top lane. Close past the Aegis, he can go in front as a Mantis style as well. Nyx looking for a bit of aggression onto Dread.
Well, if he was able to get that stun, then they just Omni-Slash the isolated hero, and Dread, on the wrong side of the world, you'll buy back straight away, but this is all or nothing now. Like, they're gonna lose 2 sets of racks if they're not careful. If they lose 2 more heroes, they've lost 2 sets of racks.
Oh, and they wasted the Static Storm as well. This is a complete disaster.
Yeah.
Disruption. They still don't even lose the Aegis.
The boss is alive.
Get it now.
Yeah, he's gonna trigger. And they might feel like fighting this one. That Radiant Creep Wave hasn't survived for long, so they go again missing these zones, but goddamn Solo, even with the spawn finally kicking in. He just went up to full life. Did I miss something, or was it Bloodstone? No? Anyway, Nova's going to trigger out, and, well, it doesn't stop anything. It's a triple kill for Avost, and this will be top racks, and this could be all Chiro.
Yeah, this is 2 lanes. They have no buybacks.
Yeah, GG. GG. That must have been 1 shot. It was like 17 1-shots at the end to bring him back up. But
that was a very easy game for Navi. I'm looking forward to seeing how they deal with the second game, because like this was just a 100% strategic one. The Brood pick was completely unanswered. It was the 5th pick of the game. They had no solution for it on the side of HR, and they actually didn't even get to play their lineup.